about percent and decimals. So what happens if you have a percent or decimal? Can you convert them by the equivalence of each one? So the way I tell kids is something called double play. It's almost like DP, Dr. Pepper, as some people remember. DP, it means move the decimal point by 2 places. So D for decimal, P for percent. You need to move the decimal point by 2 places. So for example, 48%. 48% of the school love hamburgers. How would you write that as a decimal though? Let's say I need to turn the number 48 into a decimal. So I know the decimal point goes right here. If I move it to the right side, would that stay a decimal? Or should I move it to the left? Let's move it to the left 2 places. 1, 2. So the decimal is 0 and 48 hundredths. 48% is equivalent to 0 and 48 hundredths. 3%. I need to turn the number 3% to a decimal. So I move it by 2 places. 1, 2. What goes into this empty hole right here? A placeholder. So it's 0.03. And the last one, 135%. I need to turn this into a decimal. So I need to move the decimal point by 2 places. 1 place, 2 place. So it's 1 and 35 hundredths is the same as 135%. Next, all right, what happens if you have a decimal? Can you turn it to a percent? Let's see. I need to move 0 and 6400 by 2 places. If I move it to the left, that would be like a really, really, really tiny decimal. No, that's not the point of it. Let me move it to the right. Let's see what happens there. Oh, if I move it to the right, it becomes the number 64. Don't forget the percent sign though. 64%. 0 and 5 tenths. Is 5 tenths same thing as 50 cents or 5 cents? I think it's the same thing as 50 cents. You know what? I'm just going to put a placeholder just in case to make sure. I'm going to move the decimal point by double places. Move it 2 places. It is 50%. And last but not least, 0 and 23 hundredths. If I move the decimal by 2 places, is 23%. Let's make it a little harder. What if you have 0 and 0.825? This is actually the decimal value of our tax rate here in Harris, well, depending on the city of Houston. So how would you write 825 thousandths, 825 ten thousandths place into a percent? Let's see, move it double places. 1, 2. So it's 8 and 25 or 8.25%. So the tax rate in Houston, Texas is 8 and 25 hundredths percent or 8.25%. So again, how do you do a percent and a decimal equivalency? You need to remember something called double place. Double play, double place, Dr. Pepper. You just need to move the decimal point by 2 places. Either to the left, if you're turning it a percent to a decimal, or to the right from a decimal to a whole number of percent. All right, so percents and decimals.